And Mr. Jinnah didn't like it, because he was a Congress leader and he was not representing Muslims at all. He was representing Indians, all of the Indians. So it is mentioned by many. But Mr. Jinnah, he was simultaneously the member of Congress and the member of Muslim League in 1916. This is very strange. And both the parties, he was the person behind the scenes who worked to convince both of the parties to have the annual meetings at the same place, in the same city, and at the same time. Because he said that both parties want Britishers to go, to leave India. Because so they should be united on this one point. And he was the person who brought about the pact between, the only pact, between Muslim League and Congress in 1916 in Lucknow. That is called as Lucknow Pact, which was signed by, and for the first time, the Congress itself accepted the concept of separate electorate for the Muslims. Separate electorate for the Muslims. This was the concept which was introduced by Minto Marley Reformation in 1909. And there was much controversy about it, but in 1916, Congress itself accepted this concept in 1916, that Muslims should have. So Jinnah was trying to have preserved, to have safeguarded all the what is called all the rights of the Muslims in subcontinent. Because Muslims were in minority, they had the fear. They had the fear that perhaps a majority, which this was called as majoritarianism of Congress. Majoritarianism of Congress. That the majority will suppress them, their civilization, their culture, their social institutions. They had this fear, and they will be economically deprived under the majority rule. But because there was no, so they wanted safeguards. They wanted 1/3 of the seats in the center and also in the provincial legislatures. This was the demand of the Muslims, and many of the people in Congress were of the view that these demands should be accepted. But some people were not accepting them. So this process went on, and somehow some acrimony and animosity that came in the way. But still, one should be very, very clear about it. And in 1947, when both states were created, India and Pakistan, and British left India, at that time there was a pact. There was an agreement. And then according to 3rd June plan, which was accepted by Congress, which was accepted by all the Congress leadership and accepted by all, British, Congress and Muslim people. They accepted that plan, and according to plan this country was created, and there was nothing. What happened afterwards? That is an accident of history, I must say. No founding father, either of Pakistan or India, they never visualized that this will happen. That the greatest migration of human history will take place. That millions of people will perish during this process. No one has ever thought, no one has ever visualized that this can be happening. But it happened. This is one of the most sad stories of human history, that millions of people perished. As I don't know how it happened and what were the reasons, but somehow no one wanted that, but it happened. But as far as the whole process of this creation of Pakistan was concerned, this was totally constitutional, this was totally political, this was totally parliamentarian, logical and rational debates were made, and all people, all parties agreed on it. Only then it was created. And what happened after creation? Even Mr. Jinnah said after creation, he said that if Britain and France, after hundreds of years of war, can live together in peace and friendship, Why we people can't live in peace and friendship? We share a long history of 1,000 years. But somehow, so now I should tell you why it was necessary for the Muslims to create a country. Mr. Jinnah once said that when first Hindu became a Muslim, when first Hindu converted and became a Muslim, long before the Muslim rule in India, then he was, the first brick of the Pakistan was laid down. Why? He gives the reason. Because now he was rejected by that community. Now he was different from them. How he was different than them? He again gives the reasons how he was different. He says that in spite of living together for 1,000 years, the heroes of one nation are the villains of the other, and the villains of other nation are the heroes of the ones. This is one. He says everything of these two communities is different somehow. How their institutions are different, their way of life are different. For example, I am talking about that time. Now I think enlightenment is everywhere, and globalization is everywhere, and things are changing everywhere. But I am talking about the history. In Muslims, there was a slave dynasty which ruled over India for 100 years. Those